Okay, back with another Hunger Games simulator. I'm actually kind of excited for this one because this one actually has some heavy hitters in this. I guess you can say they're heavy hitters, but and let's just get into it. District 1, we have the First Overseer, Kefka Palazzo, the Dark Lord, and the Red Figure. District 2, we have David, aka the Warden, Damian Cooper, the One, and Carl. District 3, we have the Auditor, Cartoon Cat, Sword Demon, and Dolph Lundgren, aka the Dark Magician. District 4, we have Zedekis, Salvador, Oscar, and Cookie Monster. District 5, we have M. Bison, the Blue Medic, Animatic, and the Butcher. District 6, we have Salen Koch, Gabriel T. Rourke, Sun, and Joe Zombie. District 7, we have the Red Engineer, Samantha Rhodes, aka the Womb Ripper, Huge Man, and the Big Bad Wolf. District 8, we have the Drawer, Nicholas Burr, the Easter Ripper, aka Tom, and the Purple Shirted Eye Stabber. And I will say for some of these, like on here, I had to get rid of the word the so that the name could fit. It's only for like one other person on this section. District 9, we have Cappuccino, Larry, SCP 173, aka the Statue, and Maya, aka the Siren. District 10, we have another SCP, this one 096, aka Shy Guy, Antisepticeye and Darkiplier, and Jedi's Providence. District 11, we have the Pale Visitor, the Driller Killer, Ryamino, and Bob Velsub. And then District 12, we have the Corrupted Me, aka Austin, the Ding Dong Ditcher Ripper, aka Vic Matheson, James Randall, and Josh. This is a pretty weird list I have, but this is a I feel like this is gonna be a good one. Also, before I will say there's only 4 women in this entire list, so women have a 1 in 6 chance of winning. I wasn't really special. I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, let's proceed. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Sun and Shy Guy run away. Cookie Monster grabs a sword. The Ding Dong Ditch Ripper runs away. The Driller Killer and Antisepticeye fight for a bag. The Driller Killer strangles Antisepticeye with the straps and runs. Okay, so we immediately lose Jacksepticeye. Uh, that's gotta suck. The Butcher, the Big Bad Wolf, the Womb Ripper, and Josh share everything they've gathered before running. I think that's good. That's only going to be a team. I have a feeling that's going to be a team. Darkiplier grabs a shovel, probably to dig Anti a grave. Larry, Austin, Huge Man, and Cartoon Cat run away. Rourke grabs a sword. James Randall, Sword Demon, and M. Bison run away. Pale Visitor scares the statue away from the cornucopia. What? How does that work? Kefka, Maya, the Drawer, and Cappuccino all run away. Ryamino runs into the cornucopia and hides. The First Overseer and Animatic run away. The Auditor finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Jedi's Providence snatches a sigh. Nicholas Burr runs away. Salvador and Koch fight for bag. Salvador gives up and retreats. David runs away. The Red Figure and Carl fight for a bag. The Red Figure strangles Carl. Okay, so Carl's out. I actually wasn't expecting him to die this quickly. I was expecting him to get towards like the middle. But he's only the second person to die. The Red Engineer grabs the backpack, not realizing it's empty. Oh my god! Purple Shirted Eye Stabber takes a handful of throwing knives. This is so in character for him. Oh my god. The Dark Lord also grabs an empty backpack. Damien, Dolph Lundgren, and Oscar all run away. Zedekis grabs an empty backpack. Uh, Tom, the One, and the Blue Medic run away. Bob takes a handful of throwing knives as Joe Zombie finds a bag full of explosives. He's definitely. I feel like the explosives aren't going to be used, but he's really good at using explosives. All right, moving on. Day 1, Cartoon Cat, David, and Salvador hunt for other tributes. Oscar injures himself. Big Bad Wolf and Maya split up for resources. Ryamino thinks about home. Austin receives medical supplies, and so does M. Bison. The Womb Ripper questions her sanity. That actually will make 100. That makes a lot of sense. Koch receives clean water. Huge man! Josh, the auditor, and Dolph hunt for their tributes. That actually seems like a good team, aside from Josh. Jedi's Providence tries to spearfish. Tom chases Zedekiss. Purple Shirted Eye Stabber and Sword Demon work together to drown Nicholas Burr. Oh my, what? He is dead immediately? That's. He died that quickly. What? Cappuccino constructs a shack. Cookie Monster receives medical supplies. The Drawer discovers a river. Rourke throws a knife in the red figure's chest. And that's our first woman dead. Blue Medic hunts for other tributes. Enigmatic receives medical supplies. Pale Visitor travels to higher ground. The Driller Killer fishes. James Randall runs away from the one. I mean, you're not gonna get far. Dark Lord unknowingly eats toxic berries. Seriously? He died from doing that? That's... what the heck? The first Overseer sprains his ankle running away from Damian Cooper. What? How do you do that? Sun diverts the statue's attention and runs away. Still, that does not make any sense. Larry poisons Vic Madison's drink. He drinks it and dies. Oh, so we lost the Ding Dong Ditcher Ripper. Shy Guy, Darkiplier, Joe Zombie, and Bob hunt for the tributes. Okay, that one actually seems like a better team than the one up here. Actually, the top one is still highly stronger, but that one's a better team. Kefka picks flowers, very out of character for him, as the Red Engineer diverts the Butcher's attention and runs away. We've only lost 6 people. That's 1/4 of all the people who were here. Antiseptic Guy, Carl, Nicholas Burr, the Red Figure, the Dark Lord, and Vic Madison. District 1's already halfway dead. What? Alright, moving on. The Auditor tries to treat his infection. What is the Auditor's body? I never understood what his body is. Like, what is it made of? Austin begs for Cookie Monster to kill him. Cookie Monster refuses. Alright. The Big Bad Wolf receives clean water. Red Engineer questions his sanity. I don't think he's that insane. Larry attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. The first Overseer kills Damian Cooper. And District 1 is just down to the first Overseer. As the first Overseer does something very in character of him and betrays his team member. Joe Zombie tends to his wounds. Not that that would matter as he's a zombie. Shy Guy passes out. Well, how would that work? The Sun and the One run into each other inside the truce. Tom receives an explosive. Cappuccino receives fresh food. Dolph thinks about home. Pale Visitor, Zedekiss, the Driller Killer, and Kefka sleep in shifts. Sword Demon and James Randall huddle for warmth. Salvador cooks his food. Darkiplier stays awake. The Womb Ripper quietly hums. Blue Medic convinces Maya to snuggle with him. So far, 2 women are snuggling with 2 men. Cartoon Cat thinks about winning. The Warden receives fresh food. Animatic defeats Josh but spares him. That's out of character for Animatic. He probably would have ripped Josh in half. I'm overthinking that for some reason. Oscar is awoken by nightmares. The statue and M. Bison sleep in shifts. Huge man! And the Butcher decide to truce after they run to each other. Jedi's Providence kills the purple-shirted eye stabber. He died. We lost the purple-shirted eye stabber guy. The Drawer and Bob tell stories about themselves. Sailing Conch steps on a landmine. He stepped on a landmine. Why is stepping on a landmine funny? I watched too much Nick's Game Room. Ryamino is unable to start a fire. as Rourke receives medical supplies. Let's see. Day 2. The auditor receives clean water. The drawer tends to Animatic's wounds. Oscar begs for Jedi's Providence to kill him. He refuses. Huge man attempts to climb a tree but falls on Salvador, killing him. Oh, so we just lost Huge Man and Salvador. Driller Killer questions his sanity. That one actually is probably the most in-character thing out of everything that's happened so far. Sword Demon goes hunting. The statue injures himself. How would that work? Ryamino thinks about home. Wait, weren't you already thinking about home? Rourke injures himself. Joe Zombie receives fresh food, probably a lot of meat. Dolph Lundgren, James Randall, the first overseer, and the one raid Larry's camp. So Dolph, the first overseer, and the one tried to not bring Sword Demon, and they grabbed James Randall to raid Larry's camp. Samantha Rhodes, Tom Smith, Son, Josh, and Cookie Monster hunt for their tributes. Okay, that's a decent team. Kefka fishes. Bob explores the arena. Zedekiss receives an explosive, probably to blow up whoever killed his son. Actually, the person who killed his son just died as well, so. Austin attacks Shy Guy, but he manages to escape. That's the most out of character thing now, because Shy Guy should have just killed Austin. Maya thinks about home. Cappuccino tries to sleep through the entire day. Red Engineer practices his archery. M. Bison injures himself. Blue Medic tries to sleep through the entire day. The Butcher scares Pale Visitor off. Big Bad Wolf searches for firewood. Cartoon Cat and Darkiplier split up for resources. Okay, that one also seems in character, because Markiplier, I think, is a cat person. As David sees smoke and does not decide to investigate. We lost 5 people, so we're just about halfway through this. Damien Cooper, the purple-shirted eye stabber, Sailing Koch, Huge Man, and Salvador. Let's check everyone's status so far. Oh wait, District 1's actually not down to last person, because Kefka's alive. So far, the people with a kill are the first Overseer, Sword Demon, Rourke, Larry, Jedi's Providence, and the Driller Killer, and they're all alive. As the only people who got a kill but died are the red figure and the purple-shirted eye stabber. Moving on. James Randall, the first Overseer, M. Bison, David, and the Butcher sleep in shifts. Tom and Bob attempt to start a fire, but they're unsuccessful. Pale Visitor climbs a tree to rest. Austin sees a fire but stays hidden. The drawer looks at the night sky. Joe Zombie and Maya huddle for warmth. Dolph Lundgren and the auditor and Kefka get into a fight. Kefka kills them both. Oh, we lost to Dolph and the auditor. I actually kind of wanted Dolph to win this for some reason. Ryamino lets the red engineer into a shelter. Cappuccino, the one, Oscar, and the Driller Killer tell ghost stories. I have a feeling the one probably the worst at telling ghost stories would probably be the Driller Killer, because at the end of Howard Joe Massacre, he doesn't even speak English. Cartoon Cat loses sight of where he is. Rourke is unable to start a fire. Son, Shy Guy, Animatic, and the Big Bad Wolf track down and kill the Blue Medic. Why all of them? Why all 4 of them? Like, one of them could have just killed him. Statue tends to his wounds, somehow. Sword Demon, Darkiplier, Cookie Monster, Samantha Rhodes, and Josh sleep in shifts. Jedi's Providence receives fresh food. Zedekiss is unable to start a fire. And Larry receives an explosive. Next. Rourke fishes. That's what starts the day. Josh, the Driller Killer, Cartoon Cat, and the Pale Visitor raid Maya's camp. Red Engineer steps on a landmine. Why are people killing each other with getting killed by landmines? James Randall practices his archery. Darkiplier steals from David. Oscar and Kefka split up for resources. The Drawer, the One, and Enigmatic hunt for their tributes. Austin tries to spearfish. Big Bad Wolf is pricked by thorns. Ryamino receives clean water. Tom and Bob work together. The statue attacks the butcher, but he manages to escape. Good. Cappuccino collects fruit from a tree. Zedekis picks flowers, probably to mourn over his dead son. Larry, Joe Zombie, Sword Demon, and the First Overseer raid the son's camp while he's hunting. Womb Ripper explores the arena. M. Bison discovers a river. Jedi's Providence scares Shy Guy as Cookie Monster makes a slingshot. 4 people died this time. Dolph Lundgren, the Auditor, Blue Medic, and Red Engineer. So we lost both TF2 and Source Filmmaker videos. So far, the person with the most kills is Kefka with 2, followed by First Overseer, Sword Demon, Enigmatic, Rourke, Sun, Big Bad Wolf, Larry, Shy Guy, Jedi's Providence, and Driller Killer. Moving on. Driller Killer, Joe Zombie, Zedekis, and the Womb Ripper tell ghost stories. Why is the Driller Killer telling stories? Were his stories just that interesting? M. Bison tends to Jedi's Providence's wounds. James Randall passes out from exhaustion. The First Overseer starts a fire. Cartoon Cat and Tom run to each other inside the truce. Enigmatic attacks Kefka, but the jar protects him, killing Enigmatic. Oh, we lost. That's a hard kill. Enigmatic is dead. The statue, David and Austin sleep in shifts. That is not a good thing. Because David and Austin are severely in danger from the statue. Oscar sets up camp. Rourke sees a fire but stays hidden. Maya stays awake. The Big Bad Wolf screams for help. Sun ambushes Bob and kills him. Ooh. I mean, what are you going to do with a giant fireball? Darkiplier lets Sword Demon into his shelter. Pale Visitor and Cookie Monster tell stories about themselves. The Butcher thinks about winning. Ryamino begs for Larry to kill him. He refuses. Cappuccino stabs the One. Oh, what? How was a tree branch able to kill the One? Shy Guy starts a fire as Josh screams for help, just like kind of at the end of Until Dawn. Day 4. Tom receives a hatchet. Pale Visitor fishes. Sun falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Alright, how does that work? I feel like Sun probably just... I don't know what he was doing. Maya, Ryamino, Cappuccino, and the statue tracked down and killed James Randall. It's another one I wanted to win. Why did you have to kill him? Actually, he got pretty far, though. Oh, excuse me. Rourke sees smoke in the distance. David spears Josh. Oh, a lot of people are dying. Darkiplier, Sword Demon, the Drawer, Cartoon Cat, and Cookie Monster hunt for their tributes. The Driller Killer tends to the Butcher's wounds. Somehow. Oscar constructs a shack. Austin scares M. Bison. Shy Guy defeats Larry but spares him. Big Bad Wolf and Jedi's Providence hunt for their tributes. Samantha Rhodes is pricked by thorns. Zedekis receives another explosive. Kefka bashes the First Overseer's head with a mace. I think Kefka heard what the First Overseer did to was it who was it? I'm drawing a blank here. Hold on. It was the Dark Lord. Wait, did he kill the Dark Lord? I think so. And got revenge. Also, we're down to one character from the Stick world. That's Sword Demon. As Joe Zombie tries to sleep through the entire day. 7 people have died, so this is the most. Enigmatic, Bob, the One, Sun, James Randall, Josh, and the First Overseer. Checking everyone's status, no district is out so far. First of the most kills is obviously Kefka. followed by Cappuccino with 2. And then the David, Sword Demon, Rourke, Big Bad Wolf, the Drar, Larry, SCP-173, Maya, SCP-096, Jedi's Providence, the Driller Killer, and Ryan Mino all have 1 kill. People who've got a kill but died are Sun with 2, the First Overseer, Red Figure, Animatic, and the Purple-Shirted Eye Stabber with 1. This is actually pretty interesting so far. I don't know why. Ryan Mino fends Austin, the statue, and the butcher away from his fire. I can just imagine Austin and the butcher are on one side, statue's on the other, so Ryan Mino's just constantly looking every direction. Tom, Zedekiss, Rourke, and the Jar sleep in shifts. Sword G Demon questions her sanity. I forgot to make it a her crap. David forces Cookie Monster to kill Kefka or the Womb Ripper. He decides to kill Kefka. Oh, we lost District 1. No way we lost District 1. The Driller Killer and Larry tell stories about themselves. Joe Zombie receives an explosive. Darkiplier thinks about home. Cartoon Cat tries to treat his infection. Cappuccino goes to sleep. Jedi's Providence cries himself to sleep. Oscar quietly hums. Maya tries to treat her infection. The Big Bad Wolf sets up camp. M. Bison attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Shy Guy sees a fire but stays hidden. It's probably Ryan Mino's. And Pale Visitor receives clean water. District 5. The butcher runs away from Maya, as that would do anything. Zedekiss camouflages himself in the bushes. David and the Pale Visitor split up. Darkiplier falls into a pit and dies. Ah. So now we lost Markiplier. And I still haven't seen Iron Lung, by the way. The drawer thinks about home. Austin, Cappuccino, Samantha Rhodes, and Shy Guy track down and kill Ryan Mino. I forgot what Ryan Mino has done so far. I'm sorry. Big Bad Wolf goes hunting. Sword Demon sprains an ankle running away from the statue. Oh. M. Bison scares Jedi's Providence off. Cartoon Cat stabs the Driller Killer. Oh, that's probably a good one. Oscar explores the arena. Joe Zombie tends to Cookie Monster's wounds. I don't know if these two have worked together at all. Rourke overhears Larry and Tom talking in the distance. We've only lost 4 people. Kefka, Darkiplier, Ryan Mino, and the Driller Killer. So that means we've entirely lost District 1. Meaning the person with the most kills is actually now Cappuccino with 3, followed by Shy Guy with 2. Everyone else who's still alive that has 1 kill includes David, Cartoon Cat, Sword Demon, Cookie Monster, Rourke, the Womb Ripper, Big Bad Wolf, the Drar, Larry, the Statue, Maya, Jedi's Providence, and Austin. People who don't have a kill and are still alive are Zedekiss, Oscar, M. Bison, the Butcher, Joe Zombie, and the Pale Visitor. I feel like some of them should have a kill. Oh, and Tom. Robot Tom. He didn't have a kill. Moving on. Joe Zombie receives an explosive. He already has a bunch of explosives. Zedekiss also receives an explosive. Tom attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. The jar bashes the Pale Visitor's head up against a rock. Wow. I was not expecting the jar to get a kill. Actually, another kill, but David thinks about home. Larry and Austin tell stories about themselves. Cartoon Cat receives a hatchet. Statue loses sight of where he is. Jedi's Providence lets Shy Guy into his shelter. Oh, that's not a good thing. Maya goes to sleep. M. Bison starts a fire. Cappuccino sees a fire but stays hidden. Rourke also sees a fire but stays hidden. Sword Demon lets the Womb Ripper into his shelter. They're the only 2 women that's left. Well, aside from Maya. Actually, the women are doing well in this. I just realized that. Oscar is awoken by nightmares. Cookie Monster cries himself to sleep. Probably because he hasn't had a single cookie in almost 6 days. The Butcher receives a hatchet, and the Big Bad Wolf loses sight of where he is. Oh, no. Sword Demon shoots an arrow at Cookie Monster's head. Oh, he just wanted to die. That sucks. Joe Zombie tends to Jedi's Providence's wounds. A drawer explores the arena. Statue chases Oscar. Uh-oh. Cartoon Cat tries to spearfish. Big Bad Wolf collects fruit from a tree. David kills Cappuccino with a hatchet. Okay. So whoever is getting the most kills is definitely changing a lot. Tom taints Rourke's food. Wow. We lost Cappuccino and Rourke. They were doing surprisingly well. The butcher receives an explosive. Shy Guy constructs a shack. Maya thinks at home. Larry collects fruit from a tree. Austin questions his sanity. Zedekias discovers a cave. And the Womb Ripper and M. Bison work together for the day. Excuse me. 4 people again have died. Pale Visitor, Cookie Monster, Cappuccino, and Rourke. That also means we lose the entirety of District 11, as the Pale Visitor was the last one who was still alive. Person with the most kills, and who's still alive, you have a 4-way tie currently between David, Sword Demon, the Drawer, and Shy Guy. Everyone else that's still alive has a kill. That's Cartoon Cat, Womb Ripper, Big Bad Wolf, Easter Ripper, Larry, Statue, Maya, Jedi's Providence, and Austin. Still, Zedekias, Oscar, M. Bison, the Butcher, and Joe Zombie have not gotten a kill. And Joe Zombie, the Ward, and the Corrupted Me are the last characters left for their districts. District 9 is somehow the biggest. Big Bad Wolf receives a hatchet. Jedi's Providence loses sight of where he is. The Jar and Zedekias huddle, and so do Joe Zombie and David. The Butcher fends Oscar, Austin, and M. Bison away from his fire. Tom defeats Cartoon Cat in a fight. Maya shoots an arrow at Larry but misses and kills Shy Guy. Oh! She accidentally killed her team member. Were they like trying to gang up on him or something? Womb Ripper tends to Sword Demon's wounds. They are definitely working together as Statue tries to sing himself to sleep somehow. Big Bad Wolf practices archery. Sword Demon is pricked by thorns. Zedekias, the Womb Ripper, Joe Zombie, the Statue, and the Butcher hunt for their tributes. That is a good team right there. Maya runs away from Oscar. Cartoon Cat decapitates Austin. Oh, I was not expecting that. M. Bison searches for firewood. David bleeds out to unknown untreated injuries. Tom poisons Jedi Providence's drink but mistakes it for his own. So we lost a pedo. That's a good thing. Larry discovers a river and the drawer receives an explosive. Moving on. We lost 4 people. Shy Guy, Austin, David, and Tom. It also means we lose Districts 2 and District 12, as they were the last people left. But also, this is going to be a close one. Able with the most kills so far. Sword Demon, the Drawer, and Maya. And still Zedekias, Oscar, M. Bison, the Butcher, and Joe Zombie don't have a single kill. I'm still trying to figure out who might win this. This is a tough one. Sword Demon receives clean water. Cartoon Cat, Zedekias, the Big Bad Wolf, and the Butcher sleep in shifts. Maya and the Womb Ripper tell stories about themselves. So, Womb Ripper now is teaming up with another woman. M. Bison tends to Joe Zombie's wounds. Like, that would do anything. Larry, Jedi's Providence, and the Jar of Sleep in shifts. The Statue stabs Oscar with a tree branch. No, I'm not confused on how Oscar got stabbed by it, but just how the statue was able to use it to stab him. That's what I'm confused about. Ooh, the cornucopia is replenished with food. Jedi's Providence decides to go to the feast. The statue, Larry, the drawer, and Sword Demon kill themselves for no apparent reason. Seriously, they were all doing so well. Big Bad Wolf stops an explosive, killing M. Bison, as the Butcher, Cartoon Cat, Womb Ripper, Zedekias, Joe Zombie, and Maya decide not to go to the feast. So it's either we're down to Jedi's Providence, Big Bad Wolf, the Butcher, Cartoon Cat, Room Whipper, Zedekiss, Joe Zombie, and the Siren. Who do I think is gonna die first? Probably either Jedi's Providence or Maya, by the way. Sadly. Day 8. Jedi's Providence. Wait. I don't know why I said that. I skipped ahead. I'm sorry. Uh, Big Bad Wolf searches for firewood. The Butcher's trap kills Jedi's Providence. Oh, I knew he was gonna. How did I know he was gonna die? Die like before everyone else. Maya receives an explosive. Joe Zombie discovers a cave as Cartoon Cat discovers a river. Zedekiss attempts to climb a tree but falls to his death. Well, at least that isn't how his son died. His son got crushed by a huge man! And Womb Ripper is pricked by thorns. 8 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. So actually, it's the most we've gotten so far. Oscar, Statue, Larry, the Drawer, Sword Demon, M. Bison, Jedi's Providence, and Zedekiss. We're down to our final 6. Cartoon Cat with 2 kills, the Butcher with 1 kill, Joe Zombie with no kills, the Womb Ripper with 1 kill, the Big Bad Wolf with 2 kills, and Maya with 2 kills. Somehow Joe Zombie is being a pacifist. I think he's. I don't know if he's done anything bad, but he's definitely being the pacifist of the group in this. Alright. Joe Zombie and the Butcher run to each other and decide to truce. Samantha Rhodes cries herself to sleep. Big Bad Wolf and Maya talk about the tribute still alive, and Cartoon Cat cooks his food before putting his fire out. Oh! Womb Ripper forces Maya to kill Big Bad Wolf or Cartoon Cat. She decides to kill Cartoon Cat. Oh! Cartoon Cat's dead. Joe Zombie and the Butcher work together. So we're down to Womb Ripper, the Siren, Big Bad Wolf, Joe Zombie, and the Butcher. Ooh. Cartoon Cat was the only one who died, causing District 3 to be entirely out. Now Maya's in the lead with 3 kills. How is Maya doing that well? That's what I'm surprised about. Immediately, Joe Zombie stabs Maya. So, Joe Zombie is no longer a pacifist, and we just lost the 3rd person in a row to have the most kills, as the other 3 sing songs together. So it's either we're down to a zombie, 2 puppet combo guys, 2 combo villains, and a wolf. The Butcher sprains his ankle running away from Joe Zombie. Samantha Rhodes defeats the Big Bad Wolf but spares his life. Okay. So now, with everyone having a kill, the Big Bad Wolf currently has the most kills. And is still alive. This is definitely the most exciting one. Big Bad Wolf cries himself to sleep. Joe Zombie kills the Womb Ripper. Oh. We lost. That was the last women, and the Butcher tries to treat his infection. So, Big Bad Wolf, Joe Zombie are the Butcher. This is a good one. Oh my god! Hold on. The Butcher dies of hypothermia, and Joe Zombie dies of dysentery. So that means the winner is. Hold on. Is the Big Bad Wolf from District 7. Oh my god. I was not expecting him to win this, to be honest. Oh my god. He won the game with 2 kills. That is impressive. Though it does kind of suck that both Joe Zombie and the Butcher both died of like hypothermia and dysentery at the exact same time. Oh my god. Wow, this was a long one. Day 11. We got to 11 days. Wow. Taking a look at the kills scoreboard, the top 3 were Maya, Cappuccino, and Kefka, but they all died pretty quickly. Followed by Shy Guy, the Statue, the Drawer, the Big Bad Wolf, who was the winner, Joe Zombie, Sun, Sword Demon, Cartoon Cat, and David. As everyone else in this list, Austin, Ryamino, the Driller Killer, Jedi Providence, Larry, Purple Shirt, Ice Stabber, Tom Smith, Samantha Rhodes, Gabriel T. Rourke, The Butcher, Animatic, Cookie Monster, Red Figure, and the First Overseer all killed one person. Well, thanks for watching, guys. This was definitely a fun one. Part 4 will probably be out, I'm gonna say later this year. I don't know. I will do one more update to my tier list because that one's in the works since like December, I think. Actually, yeah, about this. I think either December or early January. I don't know. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.